It was quite a cool but rainy night in March. It was a Friday afternoon, and I had just gotten off a long week at school. I was ready to hang out with some friends, so I got on my phone and texted Steve. Hey yo, anyone want to head up to the Hampton Inn tonight? I'll pay for a hotel room.
Fuck yeah, man. I'm down.
What, what do you want to do? I'm thinking we get Frank, Chad, and also Colin to join us.
Alright, man. Meet me in the group chat.
I switched tabs and head on over to our group chat. I proposed the idea to the squad, and they all agreed.
Sounds like a brilliant idea, bro. After a long, rigorous week of cultivating the mind games at school, a nice, relaxing night in the brotel will be exactly what the bros need to relax.
Now I know what you're probably thinking. Why are we getting a hotel we can stay over at one of each other's houses? Don't really know. Could have done that, but I don't know, something about a hotel just seems way more appealing. Just the clean room, the limitless opportunities to stick around late at night, the swimming pool, and not to mention the free breakfast with the waffle maker. So I go on the website for the Hampton Inn in Vanderville, Maryland to book us a room for $100. I know that's some money for my age, but hey, every once in a while, never hurt no one. Anyway, I got in the car around 5 that evening and drove on over. Once I arrived at the Hampton Inn, Chad, Steve, Frank, and Colin were already there waiting for me,
It's good, man. We finna do some crazy shit tonight.
said Steve.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, bros. I've seen the Island Boys productions on YouTube. I'll stick to watching them for the crazy stuff. But for us, I think we should keep it on the bro-key side of things,
said Chad.
Alright, man. We'll see. But, man, your ass better not be ruining the night like you always do.
Though the ironic part of that statement of Steve's is that he's usually the one that ruins the night. Though not even that. Usually, if I'm being honest, it's someone else. I'm not going to mention them, though. We're trying to keep this a positive, fun night without any interruptions, if you know what I mean. So we stroll inside the hotel and check into our room. We're staying on the top floor, luckily, which is on the 5th floor of the hotel. We get in the elevator and go to our room. Our room had a view of the entire city of Vanderville, which is pretty cool. Vanderville isn't that big of a city, but it doesn't have any skyscrapers or anything. But the city lights are still cool nonetheless, especially in the evening time. You can see the mountains, the sunset, and everything. Hey, one of y'all want to hit the pool?
Fuck yeah, man. I gotta get my swimming games on. It be cutting season soon, and there's no better way to do that than some laps. Olympic style, just like Michael Phelps,
said Steve.
I don't know, bro. I'll come down to the pool with y'all, but I think I'm gonna opt not to go in. It's still bulking season, and I'm gonna take that very, very seriously. Swimming does burn a lot of calories. I'll watch you bros on the sidelines. I'll just go get a protein shake from the gas station across the street, then I'll join y'all,
said Chad. Alright, you do you. So Steve, Frank, Colin, and I took turns getting changed into our swim trunks in the bathroom. Once we were ready, we headed down into the lobby. Chad real quickly ran across the street to the Sheetz gas station to pick up his protein shake. Meanwhile, the rest of us strolled into the pool room. However, it's still being very early in the evening. The pool is packed to the brim. There are a bunch of families and people lurking all over the place and causing a ruckus. Shit, man, you want to come back later? The pool doesn't close till 11 tonight, said Colin. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I want to have it all to ourselves.
And what do you want to do now, gang?
Said Steve.
I'm pretty hungry. Can we go out for dinner? Said Frank. Of course we can, bros. Dinner sounds like a great idea.
Whoa, Chad. Chad, that was fast. How the fuck did you get your protein shake that fast?
Well, bro, I was on my way across the street to the Sheetz when I heard the mention of dinner. I decided to postpone the protein shake gains till later tonight, so I can pack on some extra mass while I sleep,
said Chad. Okay, then we'll go to dinner. Where y'all want to go? Colin asked.
Man, I found this one place earlier today during school when I was searching the web, and they have like a bunch of barbecue and shit. Oh yeah, it's called Barbecue.
What Barbecue is?
Frank piped. We all knew what Barbecue was. It was all the way in Mount Airy, the neighboring town. You sure you want to go there?
Man, we are going to Barbecue,
Steve insisted. Fine, Colin said. Guess we better hop back in the car. We did just that. We hop back in the car and take off on Route 144 east towards Mount Airy. Once we arrived at Carter we were able to be seated immediately. However, the whole restaurant was kind of weird that night. is overcome with some mysterious and unexplainable creepy vibe. Like not many people were talking. The only sounds one could hear was the hum of the kitchen and the heat and the machinery coming out from also the kitchen. Hey, yo, who's that guy? I asked, referring to the mysterious plump head poking out from the booth right in front of us. We couldn't see their face as they were facing the other side, but they looked quite chubby based on the apparent neck chin that they had. And by that I mean their neck was fat, very chubby. Excuse me, sir? You good? Colin asked. Just then, the figure in the booth in front of us turned around and greeted us. It was no one other than Herbert Ernie himself.
Weeaboos, it's me, Herbert Ernie, guardian of the land, of the family treasure in the Ernie family forest trees.
Herbert, first of all, that doesn't make any sense. The Carter Q joint opened up in the 90s. Centuries was hundreds of years ago, I said.
Yeah, but Seabows, barbecue has been a tradition in the Ernie family as long as time has been around. My name is Pit Barbecue Man Ernie, but people often call me Pitbull Ernie. I have been known around in town for the best smoked ribs in the house, and I also make the meanest sausage, wink wink.
Oh no, Herbert. We don't want anything to do with you. We definitely don't want anything to do with your sausages, Colin replied.
Sausages, pretty yummy.
Frank, don't you fucking even think about it. Shut your bitch ass up. It's always you who gets us in these situations, Colin said.
Yeah, man, if Buzzman says one more thing, I'm beating his ass with a barbecue bitch tonight,
said Steve. I had no idea what a barbecue bitch was, but don't know if I wanted to know.
That's it, Buzzman. I'm beating your ass.
Hey, yo, guys. Okay, stop arguing. We have bigger problems, I said. Herbert, you're not allowed to be here. You need to leave before I call the cops, I said. Now, you may think that we're being a bit unfair with Herbert by saying he wasn't allowed to be there, but it was true. You see, Herbert had been banned from almost every single restaurant in the Bannerville County region. I'm not going to explain why, but as you're about to see, you'll soon know why he is banned.
Yeah, we're boys. I figured I may as well ask. What are you boys doing tonight after dinner's done?
Herbert asked. Shit. We're just, going back to sleep over at my house, I said. Colin gave me a look of approval, as I had just resisted the temptation of telling Herbert our plan of us going back to the hotel, knowing that if we did, Herbert would follow us back and ruin the night.
Sleepover, eh, boys? I think I might have to join in.
Oh, no, you don't, Herbert. You're not invited. You don't have an invitation to this very special sleepover.
Special sleepover? I like special sleepovers, and I love special bows. Don't worry, you won't even know I'm there. I have to spend the entire night in the kitchen, whipping up new recipes for tomorrow's cookout.
What do you mean, cookout, Herbert? It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. What cookout are you talking about?
Well, I'm glad you boys asked. The Ernie family will be in the woods tomorrow, with my little buddy, of course,
said Herbert.
And then in the woods, we'll set up a shack to be out of the rain. And in that shack, we'll be cooking up all sorts of tasty goodies. Everything from my famous twisty sausage platter, all the way to the cheesy goblet of the goodies.
Herbert's menu items made no sense at all, and we did not want anything to do with it. Luckily, Herbert was interrupted when the waiter came by to take our orders. Good evening, boys. May I take your order? Yeah, we're ready. Perfect. We did just that. Chad ordered himself some ribs, along with some cornbread as well. Steve ordered ribs too, but instead of cornbread, he got the chili vat instead.
Man, if I get my chili on tonight, I'm gonna be benching hoes in the pool.
Okay. I don't really think there'd be any chicks to bench in there, but Steve, yeah, whatever. Alright, Frank, your turn to order. What do you want?
I'm pretty hungry.
Come on, Frank, hurry up, said Colin.
I'm gonna order.
Frank, will you just order already?
Okay. Here's the cornbread.
Frank decided to order the cornbread, not just the side, but rather the cornbread platter as a main entree. This involved a stack of cornbread 7 feet high, I had no idea how we intended on finishing all that. Anyway, Colin ordered the Texas beef brisket and I ordered the same. For drinks, Colin and I got waters. The rest of them got Sprites on request of Frank.
Sprite for everybody!
Next, it was time for Herbert to order. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't do that, buddy. I can't make that food for you. I'm not gonna say what Herbert's order was. The waiter looked shook.
Well, no problem. Seems like I'll have to slide back into the kitchen and make the food myself. I'll make it special for special boys.
Ooh, a shiver ran up my spine when Herbert mentioned special boys. Not gonna mention right now why, but you'll soon later on see, unfortunately. Sorry, buddy, you can't do that. Only staff are allowed back there, the waiter said.
Come on now. I'll show you back.
Just then, Herbert got up and proceeded to barge his way into the kitchen. He used his chubby belly to push past all the employees in the doors. Hey, get back here! Just then, the server ran off trying to stop Herbert. Ooh, glad he's gone, said Colin. Yeah, for now, let's just try and enjoy ourselves and eat some food, he said.
Exactly, bro. This is a nice country environment. Reminds me of back when I was in my pops' house on the ranch in Texas. He would always make cornbread and barbecue classics all the time. It would be very nice, enjoyable way to spend an evening, especially for the games when football season or bro ball season is right around the corner.
Chad, football season doesn't start for months. Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't start till next year.
The fuck you talking about?
Said Steve. Okay. Also, we're seniors. We're graduating this year. Won't you be going to college?
That is right, bro. I'll be going to the University of Miami.
You think you're gonna make that team? I asked. University of Miami's very, very competitive.
Well, we'll see, bro. We'll see. But for now, let's eat.
Just then, our server arrived back with our food. I don't know what he did with Herbert, but I wasn't hearing from him, which is good. Anyway, our food all tasted pretty good, and it was a very satiating meal, too. When we were finished, we were all satisfied.
Now that rose hit the spot. The bro spot. Woohoo!
Okay. Now, after we paid the check, all on courtesy of Chad's Pops' credit card, we browsed our way back to the Hampton Inn, with the intention of taking a dip in the pool, with Chad watching from the sidelines, of course. You know, because the gains.
Sounds like a fine-ass plan to me, G.
Replied Steve. We did just that. The waiter came and took our bill, and we paid. Just then, we walked back outside and hopped in the car. However, as we were pulling out of the Carter Q parking lot, we witnessed a blue minivan and a hooded figure scurry off from the back, parked behind the dumpsters. Kind of alerted us, but they were headed in another direction anyway, so we really didn't worry about it. Huge mistake. Once we arrived back at the Hampton Inn Hotel in Vanderville, we headed on up to our room and changed back into our swim trunks. Chad met us in the pool. He was already reclined in a pool chair that went all the way back. He had his shades on too, even though it was indoors. It was dark outside. So in theory, oh yeah, something that was also weird about Chad is that he had his football Letterman jacket on too. Like the long sleeved one, and jeans. And I don't know why he did this, because I thought he was all about showing off the gains and everything. We had never seen him shirtless. I don't know, he's always hyping up the gains. So in theory, he'd want to show off his muscles a bit, but didn't really make much sense.
Well, bros, gotta remain modest after all. The gains are only very valuable and should be shown only on special occasions. You know, bros.
I guess you do have a point, I replied. Anyway, the next few hours are pretty uneventful. I kid you not, but we spent like 3 hours in that pool. Because at this point, it was like 8:30 and we had it all to ourselves. We did everything. Splashed around, dicked around, you know, stupid shit like that. Nothing too crazy. And by the time we were done swimming, it was around 11:30 p.m. The pool was technically closed, but we decided to stay there for a little longer. We were the only ones at the hotel at that point. Everyone else is sleeping. However, as we dried off and strolled back outside into the lobby, it seemed that the hotel guy working from earlier had clocked out, and the night shift worker decided to clock on in.
Good evening, boys,
he said. Oh, no, Colin replied. For good reason. It was the creepy clerk. That's right. The same guy that ruined the Cranberry Wilderness Crunch, that ruined Seabase, and that also ruined the Francis Mall of the Dirty at Spencer's. Bro, what in the world are you doing here? How many jobs do you have? I said. was pissed at that point.
You don't worry, boys. I'm always trying to support my family with some extra income. Now, if I check your boys' room, you have a little party? You know, I got weenies.
Oh no, we didn't want anything to do with any more weenies tonight, I said, thinking back to what Herbert was doing at Carter Q. I want to think about him though.
Well, come on, boys. I'm just trying to have a fun time. How about this? I'll give y'all boys some complimentary snacks under one condition. But before I tell you that condition, though, you must say yes or no to the snacks.
Yeah, man, I want snacks,
Said Steve.
Me too,
Said Frank.
right, boys? I guess you agreed to the condition then?
Yo. What condition? I said.
Too late for that now, boys. Let me go and grab your snacks. Then we'll go for that little condition.
I was worried about this whole condition of his. Nevertheless, though, he went into the back and grabbed the snacks, which consisted of Lay's potato chips, sour cream and onion flavor.
Here you go, boys.
Colin and I didn't want ours, so he gave them to Frank, who happily ate them,
But man, why always gotta be such a messy dumbass?
said Steve.
Anyway, boys, let's go over that condition. How about I say we take things back to y'all's room. You know, those hotel beds are kind of sketchy, but I can fix that for you boys, you know. Because I know you all are special boys. You deserve some special treatment, if you know what I mean. I'll make it up to you. You can always go down below the belt, you know.
Oh no, fuck you. I'm calling the cops, I said. I don't know why, but we somehow forgot to call the police, stupidly, and took off running instead. We ran down the hallway and into the elevator. The creepy clerk was now chasing after us, though he had a pot belly though, and was not able to keep up. The elevator door opened just in time before the creepy clerk tried to get on.
Oh, come on, boys. I'm just having a fun time. I didn't know that.
He said, his voice muffled from the other side of the elevator doors. But we didn't listen. The elevator went back up to the 5th floor before we locked ourselves in our room. The next 2 hours were pretty uneventful. It was about 1:30 in the morning now, and we were beat, exhausted. We're all super tired, and we're simply sitting in the room, quietly watching some YouTube, when we got a mysterious knock. We had forgotten about what had happened earlier, so I went to answer it. I stopped right in my tracks, though, and was about to answer the door. I decided, it being that late at night, I should be wary. I looked through the peephole, and a pit formed my stomach, and I saw no one other than the creepy clerk, along with Herbert Ernie himself, standing right behind him.
Maybe just housekeeping, boys.
He said creepily. What do you want? I said.
Better let us in, boys. We don't mean any harm. We're just trying to teach you boys some moves.
Some moves? What do you mean, moves? Herbert, is this some karate or some shit?
If you let us in, we'll get into that. We need to let us in, though. The chewing could be click.
Frank was a dumbass. He was always such a sucker for Herbert, and complying to his every creepy will. Anyway, it's too late. Frank opened the door, letting Herbert and the creepy clerk inside.
Wait, boys. I say we get these lessons going now.
Just then, the creepy clerk unbuckled his 80s style gym trainers, revealing tidy whities.
Right, boys. Time to take out the toys now. You know what they say. Special toys for special boys.
That's right, boys. That's right. If you're not bringing money up here, then we'll be participating in the special toy event too. It'll be fun for all of us. You know, boys, I've always been looking forward to doing this ever since my youngin' years.
My heart skipped a beat when I looked at Herbert, as he was now butt naked. Oh shit! Everybody run! I cry. We all did just that. It was almost 2 a.m. at that point, but we didn't care. We ran out of the hotel in our PJs. The freezing rainy night stung on our skin, but we did not care. We ran out and got in the car. We looked back and were traumatized for life when we saw Herbert and the creepy clerk exiting the hotel. They were both naked at that point. The creepy clerk had a dildo in his hand.
Come on, boys. I'm just trying to show you all the toys. Special toys for special boys, he said.
Oh, fucking that, fam!
Said Steve. I did not blame him. We got our phones and called the cops. 5 minutes later, the police arrived and Herbert, only Herbert by the way, was taken away. The creepy clerk, and we don't know where he went. He ran off and hid somewhere, but we didn't care. As long as they were gone for now, that's all that mattered. We all drove home, and I dropped off my friends. It was around 3 a.m. by the time I finally calmed myself down enough to bring myself to go to bed. However, 10 minutes later, kid you not, I woke up to the sound of leaves crunching outside my window.
Psst! Remember, special toys for special boys,
A voice said. I screamed, and that then concludes the Hampton Inn horror.